We're always looking for something that's kind of cool or kind of different. Some actors, I think specifically comedians, they like kind of simple props because they're working so hard on their craft and the joke that they're doing in the gags that they don't need something really complicated to take them away from it. But sometimes you need a prop so an actor has a reason to be giving something to do while they're giving their monologue, or a reason to walk across the room. So we're always looking for an interesting prop for them to work with. Telephones are always a great hand prop that we do, and we have them going anywhere from the early part of the century up to more current day. We'll have things like, this is a Mexican payphone that we needed for a movie. Such an expensive prop. We had to pay $900 for it to have it shipped up from Mexico. Wow. And it's like, okay, fine. We need it for the show, so we'll be happy to do that. Well, should we look at bones? This is a section that always performs really well for us, and it's our bones section. When they were doing the pilot for Bones, we rented, I think, every single bone we had here. Oh, wow. And Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, we did a bunch of rentals of our period skeletons. And then, of course, you come down here Halloween, and it's absolutely empty. One of the things people ask, they go, do you have any real bones? And I always go, no, we don't. But every once in a while, you'll walk up, and you like look at something, and you'll go, wait a minute, that's a real one. Probably one of the funniest stories about that is we had bought a prop, and inside of it was a skull, a human skull. And it was from Colorado. And, oh, I know what it was. It was something that had belonged to my uncle. My uncle had died and we shipped stuff out here. And he'd like to go and find things outside. He'd found this human skull. And it was really quite old. And I found out, well, what you're supposed to do is you contact the Natural History Museum of that state, and you find out, what they would like done, because I guess they get all the bone parts. So we shipped them pictures of it and all, and they determined that it was that it was Indian and that it was Ute. So we had to ship the skull back to the Ute Indian tribe so they could re-bury one of their dead ancestors. Wow. So yeah, we're always going through here looking for the real bones all the time.
With the TV show like Bones, I know that the skeleton will be buried and there'll be critters crawling around.
Yeah.
In it. How do you handle something like that?
Well, we'll do pretty clean bones. If you look at our stuff, you'll see I've got bones that are, see how this one is? So if somebody gets hit with a bone like that, go ahead and try it. You can whack.
Wow.
Whack.
Toss the bone over it. Sorry,
But I learned something really interesting. I have a friend at the Natural History Museum, and I asked her because one of my clients had a big problem. They needed a cow skull, and they had to take all the they went to the local Spanish market to get one. They had to get all the flesh off of it, so they had to boil it for a couple of days, and it was really awful. And I asked her, I said, well, what do you do at the Natural History Museum? And she said, flesh-eating beetles. Oh. And it was like, well, where do you get flesh-eating beetles? She said, oh, just put it with the flesh-eating beetles for 2 days. They'll eat all the flesh off of it.
Is there that?
But we have resin, so we're all right.
Musculars.
Ellie, please call extension 30. Ellie, extension 30.
Give yourself a hand, Tom.